Hi guys, Freddy here, welcome back to the desktop for another retro RPG. And this week I would like to present this. Rift's Worldbook 10 Juicer Uprising, a 1996 Palladium Books production. But before I get onto the book itself, I would like to address something, because what I've noticed from the comments on my previous Rifts videos is how defensive the Rifts fanbase is. Lots and lots of comments on my videos about how much they love the game, and I do too. I want to get that down on video. I love Rifts. I have many source books for it. I have spent many hundreds of pounds buying Rifts products because I love it. But I think everybody has to admit, Rifts is flawed. It suffered badly from balance problems and from power getting scaled up through the production of source books. It could have done with a second edition to basically level everything off again, take some of the opinions into account, and just tidy it up. But they have never done that, and I certainly respect that decision, that the Rifts that came out in the early 90s is the same Rifts that comes out today, but it doesn't stop me criticizing it. But anyway, let's get on with this book. Let's start with the back cover, as I usually do. First of all, massive advert at the top here for Rift's Coalition War Campaign. The Coalition War Campaign I will cover some other time, because it's another sourcebook I absolutely adore. But we've got Palladium Books presents Rift's Worldbook 10, Juicer Uprising. New types of Juicer occupational character classes, including the Hyperion Speed Demon, the Mysterious Mega Juicer, the Giant Super Strong Titan, the Mega Damage Dragon Juicer, dependent on the blood of dragons to sustain his powers, Phaeton, Psycho Stalker, and others. The Juicer OCC developed and expanded, the motivations behind these suicidal warriors and the process and effects being used completely described. Juicer wannabes, side effects, quirks, and insanities. New Juicer armor, weapons, and equipment. The Prometheus treatment, immortality for Juicers, or another coalition lie. More world information about North America, Newtown, Fort El Dorado, death cults, and hints of things to come. Written by C.J. Corella with concepts by Kevin Simbider. 160 pages of epic adventure. Discover the entire Palladium megaverse. Now, this is a kind of sourcebook adventure. As always, Palladium artwork, fantastic and imaginative. I don't know how practical that is. It's statted out later in the book, but that looks cool. Backpack with massive rocket pods on the sides, with missile launchers, guns. That just looks cool. I am so impressed with all the artwork. It's just everything about Rifts is amazingly imaginative. We go through the Juicer Revisited. So we go into the background of the Juicers, how they started off, what happened after the Great Cataclysm where the Rifts open, and then Juicers today, how you become them in a post-Holocaust world, kind of. The dangers and side effects of becoming a Juicer. You know, these people take massive amounts of drugs to boost their physical abilities. They can go insane, they can have physical side effects, you know, the shakes and all that. We also have non-human juicers detailed somewhat, which is a majorly problematic point. Although RCCs and OCCs don't usually cross over, this does detail how they can. Rise and fall of the Juicer, because they're burning their bodies much harder by taking drugs. Juicers are much short-lived, and they reach a thing called the last call, where they're reaching their termination date. They only last a few years. Juicers on the law, making a living, Juicer culture. It's a fantastic look and creating a world around just one character class from the original sourcebook. The idea that the special sports for people who are massively enhanced, you know, if you can imagine having the Olympics and then the Mega Olympics for people who are willing to take drugs and can do a 30-second mile sprint and all of that. I've always kind of actually thought they should do that in the real world, but it just kill people, so that's why I'm not allowed to make decisions. Murderthon, what a great name for a game. Juicer football, new juicer variants. So, a juicer usually takes drugs to enhance their speed, their strength, their physical endurance. These juicer variants specialize in areas. So we've got the Hyperion Juicer, who is somebody who's a bit the Flash. As you can tell from the main drawing, that does look like a Flash ripoff to me, but they are enhanced for speed. They don't get the massive strength of the other types of juicers and massive physical endurance, but they are a lot faster. We have the Titan Juicer, who is specialized on strength. Phaeton Juicer, whose reflexes are enhanced, so they make good pilots. Mega Juicers, who are just uber super juicers. And again, Palladium artwork. It's spiky chaos, but so many blades, just looks cool. I think they're taking the idea of juicer burnout to a bit of an extreme there, but Delphi Juicer. Which ones are these? Oh, psychic juicers. So they're given drugs to enhance their mind powers. It goes through the coalition juicers. So the coalition is a human supremacy post-American empire that dominates much of the North American continent in the years after. They tend to base their things on skulls. We'll see that when we eventually go on to the Coalition War campaign, but their soldiers wear sort of skull armor and are called Dead Boys. They've got robots called Skillerobots. Extremely cool imagery, and a juicer variant of the armor with big claws and guns and everything nice. Psycho Stalker, so we have one which feeds on psychic energy and burns through it. Dragon Juicers. So somebody who kills and drinks the blood of dragons to gain their power. So basically doing with magic what ordinary juicers do with drugs. And apparently they wear some of their skin. Murder Wraiths. So juicers who take more drugs to try and outlive and become horrible monstrosities, but do manage to live on, or unlive on, because they are listed as undead. Splugorth Juicers. Splugorth are an alien race that have come to the Earth through the rifts, and they're slavers and they exploit everything, so they have created their own juicers, which I'm just repeating myself over and over again how cool the artwork is, but that's one of the major things of Rifts, that you can pick up a sourcebook, leaf through, and just be inspired to cool things from just the artwork. And I think that's how the game was probably written. They let their artists do whatever they wanted, and then were like, right, let's stat out this wonderful drawing. We've got Juicer Gladiators, Scouts, Assassins, a Gambler. I'm not sure how that works for the Juicer. Designer Drugs. We've got skills, weapons, different types of armor here, so we can actually see what the super hide armor, known as Dragon Scale or Dragon Skin armor, uses the hides of supernatural beings. Juicer weapons, including a fantastic chainsaw. I think they call it the Close Combat Weapon System, aka the Juicer Chainsaw. And then we're on to powered armor, so a suit designed deliberately to attack and kill very nimble opponents with lots of guns, sort of automated. Juicer Killer power armor. More powered armor. We've got vehicles, sort of mainly bikes, jet bikes and buggies, including that fantastic jetpack. Juicer organizations. Oh, sorry, skip back. More artwork showing the difference between different types of juicers. How the sort of Titan ones will be much, much larger. And then we're on to some characters. Places of interest. So we get some details on the world. I have no idea what that picture has to do with the source book, but is that not just nice artwork? Post-Holocaust world, Big muscular guy in raggedy armor with a sword in his back giving a balloon to a kid. I like it. More world history, places of interest. And we're getting on towards the back here, where we reach still more places. Come on. The Juicer Uprising, which is basically a adventure type campaign. There's not much more detail than an adventure, but it does seem to last over a period of time, so you could slot other things into it to make it a Juicer Uprising campaign, where the coalition, as I said before, the human-centric post-American government offers people the Prometheus treatment, a cure for juicer augmentation to keep them living on in exchange for their service. So lots of people are becoming juicers because now they can leave or live on forever, or live on past when a juicer normally would. And the coalition is bolstering their military by hiring all these juicers. But is that the truth? Are they really doing this? Or do they have nefarious aims? Of course they do. They're the coalition. Look at them. They've got skeletal robots. They are evil. But it's nice. And I'll keep flipping over it page by page, although I don't want to reveal too much in case anybody ever wants to run this. But the idea that we've got a source book with an adventure taking advantage of it and introducing some of the new stuff. We're past the adventure and into new races. We've got human-shaped androids, Valax aliens. I think they just seem to be thrown in because they'd created them and they were sitting around. A map of Newtown. And then we've got adverts for Palladium stuff at the back. But the idea that this is a source book with new juicers in it, but it's also an adventure. So the Games Master can go out, they can buy an adventure, they can run it, but it's not a matter of, oh, I bought an adventure, I've run it, now it sits on the shelf forever, useless to me. But it's got the OCCs in it, it's got the new types of juicers in it, it's a useful source book for your players to have and for you to use against them. You know, turning around and using anti-juicer armor against your party juicers, very, very useful. I think this is perhaps one of the most perfect adventure source books I've ever seen. I really wanted to do something to allow me to absolutely gush over Rifts because I have received criticisms for being negative on it. Now, I am very much a realist, and I still think, obviously, as I've stated a couple of times, Rifts needs a second edition. It needs tidied up. There are some massive, massive flaws in it, but it's also wonderful and beautiful, and it's got great source books like this. Anyway, I think I have talked enough for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and if you like Rifts. But most of all, look after yourselves, and I'll catch you later. Bye.